You raised an issue in relation to, in your report, the Fearon, which is commonly known as the Fearon Report. And in it, and I'll quote from it, critical to the operation of any control centre is the provision of stable and consistent supply of electricity power. Despite improvements by the ESB, both Malin and Valentia, because of their remote locations, suffer from a greater number of blackouts and supply voltage drops, brownouts, than normally experienced in urban areas. Is that correct? Right. In light of the ESB letter on the 22nd of February and a subsequent UPS report on the 6th of March, and the UPS report, and I'll quote from it, during the time in which we had a voltage recorder installed in your premises, your voltage was within standards. Do you accept that the ESB in Valentia is up to standards? That's a yes or a no.
Well, with respect, Senator, it's not quite
no,
that
it is. It's
straightforward.
either is or is not up to standard.
Our consistent finding in
no, I'm asking you, the ESB have given you a report. They're the suppliers of electricity. We asked them, you asked them to put a UPS report in the station. They said it's up to standards. Do you accept the ESB's statement that Valentia is up to standard?
The ESB statement found that in a week in which they had a device in place, there wasn't a difficulty encountered.
So you say, am I correct in saying that there are...
Senator, let Mr. Fearon answer the question and I'll let you back in.
Having similar, if not the same equipment in place over a sustained period of time, we have consistently found that there have been outages at our UPS systems, consistently, and that they are consistently higher in both Malin and Valentia than they are in Dublin.
Sorry.
These are the same UPS pieces of equipment in each location, and that is simply the fact of what we find.
Sorry, can I just clarify something, Chairman?
Yes.
You brought in the ESB to give you a report in relation to the UPS, and they said that it was up to standard. And before you put this to paper and you said that the ESB isn't, the electricity supply isn't up to standard, did you get the ESB to do a monitoring on your system?
We did our own monitoring.
But you didn't get the ESB to do it?
We did not. We did our own monitoring on the system, and the ESB have, as I say, in a week, they didn't find. I mean, there would be weeks when we wouldn't have difficulties either, but they did find that they didn't have a difficulty that week. But we have, and consistently, and even since the report was written, that position continues.
Sorry, could you supply within 2 days the UPS reports that you had in your hand when you wrote this report?
Oh, I could, yeah.
Right, would you give that to the Chairman? The other thing, like he said, and I just want to quote again, that these are very significantly less than quoted in your facts. The ESB have literally said that what you put in the report isn't correct. They've said it, and they're the supplier to your station.
Indeed they are.
You don't accept their findings?
I have findings which are different.
From the ESB?
From the ESB. Well, no, the ESB, now to be fair to the ESB are commenting from having a piece of equipment in place for a week. We have had similar equipment in place for, since the UPS units were put in, and we have consistently found difficulties. Now, I mean, it's not. I mean, we have to address that.
But he said that they're within standards. He's not saying that there wasn't upages and downages with there anyway. He said they're within standards, and actually he said that they compare favourably to Dublin.
Senator, unfortunately, the facts that we have don't bear that out. And I know in the Shannon as well there was references to an ESB letter in which they did state that if you discount storm damage, that the supplies were up to standard. Now, unfortunately for us, discounting storm damage is not an option. I mean, I know it's extreme, but the position I'm looking at is not the sort of situation that you meet in an ordinary business environment. I'm looking for equipment that will perform in the most adverse weather conditions when there are difficulties around the country.
The ESB, the Coast Guard equipment is not similar to the ESB equipment in terms of recording brownages and jumps in the system. So, like, you can only take the national standard of the national supplier, which is the only supplier going. But I would say that you have had outages in Dublin as well. And would that be correct? Right.
Absolutely.
So you've had outages,
but not at the same level.
Not at the same level. So, point of information there, Chairman. You were raising the concerns there about, your concerns in relation to the ESB supply and the UPS system.
Yes.
And I just quote from a letter, 22nd of February 2008. In relation to your UPS, this is a reply to your department. The UPS at Valentia, County Kerry is being brought to our attention now for the first time. 22nd of February 2008. The first time you brought this problem to the attention of the ESB. If you were so concerned over the electricity supply to Valentia, surely you'd do it before myself and Jackie and the other deputies, all the deputies from Donegal and the senators from Donegal raised a furore because you said the ESB wasn't up to standards. You didn't even bother asking the ESB, was it up to standards? And you are supplying with us, of course, and just to remind you that you're supplying the UPS report and your engineer's report
yes.
to us.
Yes.
Within 2 days.
Continue, Mr.